Have you ever updated your profile, hit save, refresh the page, and nothing? Your old info is just staring back at you? It's that awful moment where an app just feels broken. Well, today on Engineering Systems, we're going to dive into the exact consistency model that's designed to prevent that nightmare. Read your rights. We'll get to other cool stuff like causal consistency later on, so make sure you subscribe. Okay, let's get into it. So, to really get where read your rights fits in, you got to know the two big extremes. On one side, you have strong consistency. Think of it as perfect but slow. Every single user, everywhere in the world, sees the exact same data instantly. Then on the other side, you've got eventual consistency. This one's fast and super scalable, but it only promises that, everything will sync up eventually. And that question right there, that's what leads us to this really fascinating middle ground, a model that's built on a totally different idea. What if we stop obsessing about whether the entire system is perfectly in sync across the globe, and instead just focus on making sure it feels right to the one person who actually just did something? That little shift in perspective, well, that's everything. And this leads us straight to a model that's all about giving you, the user, a personal guarantee. So what is read your rights consistency? It's a really simple but powerful promise. After you make a change, you update your bio, you post a comment, anytime you go to look at that data again, you are absolutely guaranteed to see your own change. And the key word here is you. It makes no promises about what other people are seeing, just that the system won't lie to you about what you just did. This quote just nails it. We're basically flipping the script. We're moving away from a machine-centric view, are all the servers in agreement, and we're moving towards a human-centric one. The goal is to make sure the user perceives the system as working correctly, which, let's be honest, is usually what matters most. And why is this so important? It really just comes down to one word: trust. As a user, you expect your actions to mean something, right? When you change your profile picture and you see the old one, it feels like the system just ignored you. It completely breaks your trust in the app. Read Your Rights is designed specifically to prevent that feeling of betrayal. Okay, so if the whole system isn't perfectly in sync, how in the world do engineers actually pull this off? Let's take a look behind the curtain. So here's the classic problem in any big distributed system. To make things fast and reliable, your data is copied onto lots of different servers, which we call replicas. The catch is, those copies don't all update at the exact same millisecond. So it's super easy for your update to go to one server, while your very next click gets data from another server that's a few seconds behind. Let's walk through it. You hit save on a new bio. That write request goes to replica A. The system starts copying that change over to replica B, but there's a tiny network delay. Before it gets there, you hit refresh. The load balancer, just trying to be efficient, sends your read request to replica B this time. And boom, you see your old bio. The whole thing feels broken. Now, to fix this, engineers have a few clever tricks up their sleeves. A really common one is called sticky sessions. This basically tells the system, hey, for the next few minutes, anytime this person asks for something, make sure you send them back to the exact same server they just wrote to. Another way is version tracking, where the system remembers the version of the data you just wrote and makes sure you only read from a server that's at least that new. Or, in a pinch, it can just force your reads to go straight to the main leader node. All right, let's make this super concrete with that same social media profile update we've been talking about. Okay, so you've just changed your bio from loves hiking to professional mountaineer. The system uses a sticky session to basically pin your browser to the data center replica that handled that change. So for the next couple of minutes, every time you look at your own profile, you're guaranteed to be talking to the server that knows all about your new awesome career. For you, the experience is flawless. But, and this is the crucial part, here's the trade-off. While you're admiring your new bio, your friend on another continent might hit refresh and, for a few seconds, still see loves hiking. And for most apps, that tiny delay for everyone else is a totally acceptable price to pay for making the experience feel perfect for you, the person actually making the change. So we've solved the user's problem, but as with everything in system design, there's no free lunch. Choosing read your rights is a classic balancing act, with some amazing benefits and some very real trade-offs you have to consider. Let's break this down. The pros are huge. You get a way better user experience, which builds trust, and you get it without the massive performance hit of strong consistency. The system stays up and it scales nicely. But on the flip side, you've just made your routing logic way more complex. Load balancing is trickier because you can't just send requests wherever you want. And you have to worry about weird edge cases, like what happens if that one replica you're stuck to suddenly goes down. And this whole reality of trade-offs leads to a really key insight about how massive real-world systems are actually built. You almost never just pick one consistency model and use it for everything. In fact, a lot of the biggest apps you use every day are this powerful hybrid. On a global scale, they're eventually consistent. They let data replicate around the world at its own pace to stay fast. But for your specific session, at that moment, they give you that local, comforting guarantee of read your rights. It's how you get the best of both worlds: incredible scale and a user experience that feels solid and correct. So let's zoom out and really lock in the big idea here, because read your rights isn't just a technical trick. It's a fundamental shift in how you think about design. You see, traditional models are all about the state of the machines. They ask questions like, is all the data identical everywhere right now? Or will it be identical soon? But read your rights asks a totally different, more empathetic question. Does the user feel like the system is working correctly? We're shifting from engineering for pure machine logic to engineering for human psychology. And that right there is the key takeaway. Building these huge, complex systems isn't just about getting a bunch of computers to agree with each other. It's about building systems that earn and keep the trust of the humans who depend on them every single day. In our next explainer, we're going to build on this and check out causal consistency, a model that makes sure you never see a reply to a comment before you've seen the original comment. It's the next step up the ladder, and it's super interesting. Hey, if you're enjoying these deep dives into how systems work, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications too. It's seriously the best way to support the channel and make sure you don't miss what's next. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next run.